There's a specific kind of quiet that only exists when you're somewhere far from home. No notifications that actually matter. No one who needs anything from you. Just you, the wind, and whatever you've been avoiding thinking about. I used to think that feeling was freedom. I was trying to think it might be something else. I didn't choose to be alone, not really. People moved away, life got busy, going out got expensive, and somewhere along the way, the motivation to fight against that just faded. It's easier to stay in, easier to recharge, easier to not have to explain yourself to anybody. I work remotely, which means most of my day is spent being on, present, communicative, professional. By the time that's over, the last thing I want to do is go perform for more people. So I stopped gradually, and nobody really noticed. And honestly, neither did I. I went to Oregon alone in April. Just me, my camera, and the Pacific coast. And it was good, really good. There's something about being somewhere beautiful and no agenda and no one waiting on you. You notice things differently. You move at your own pace. You reset. I genuinely enjoy being alone. The silence, the freedom, the not having to coordinate with anybody. But lately, I've been sitting with a question I don't love. Do I enjoy it because it's actually good for me? Or because I've just gotten so used to it and I don't know anything else? Because there's a difference between choosing solitude and defaulting to it. And I'm not sure which one I've been doing. I'm turning 32 in June, in a couple of months, right? And I feel like one of the things that's been lacking, approaching that age is the romance and the connection of it all. And I keep telling myself I need to put myself out there, and I get overwhelmed thinking about it. The dating apps and the performance of it all, but the fact that I found so much peace and comfort in solitude just made me realize that I ended up just putting up more walls than I wanted to. And I didn't notice that until I imagined letting somebody in and realizing how foreign that felt to me. I've been thinking about why independence comes so naturally to me, and I don't think it has anything to do with personality. I think it's more so a form of protection. When you grow up carrying things alone, things you don't talk about, things you learn early to keep to yourself, you get good at not needing people. You build systems, you self-soothe, you figure it out on your own because that feels safer than asking. And that works. It works for a long time really well. Until you're 31 and then you realize that the walls you kept up are now keeping people out. And I want to be clear, there's nothing wrong with solo travel, with enjoying your own company, with needing space to recharge. That's healthy, that's good actually. But for me personally, I begin to wonder if I travel to discover more of myself or to avoid that stillness and that loneliness that you feel underneath. And I'm thinking about, going to therapy because I think there's some patterns that are just so deep underneath that I need somebody in the room with me to help me through it all. And maybe that's where it actually starts. Not the dating, not, forcing myself to travel, but to figure out why I built these walls in the first place. I think I've been treating solo travel the way some people treat a drink at the end of the day. Not as something bad, but as something that takes the edge off just enough that you don't have to feel the full weight of what's underneath. Oregon was beautiful. It reset me. I meant every second of it. But I came home to the same place in routine and quiet, and this time the quiet asked me something it hadn't asked me before. Is this enough? I didn't have the answer, but I think the fact that the question finally showed up means something. This was never really about being alone. It was always about whether I was ready to let someone in. I don't have this figured out. I want to be honest about that. And I'm not standing here to tell you that solo travel saved me, that I have peace, or that I have a 5-step program to finding a connection, because I don't. What I have is a little more honesty than I had 6 months ago about what I want, about what's been getting in the way, about the work I've been avoiding. I want to go to therapy. I want to stop defaulting to comfort when courage is what actually I need. I want to let people in, really, and without feeling like that's something to be afraid of. I'm 31, turning 32 soon, and now it's when I'm actually starting to ask the right questions. And maybe that's where it starts.